My name's Paul and I'm the Western Australian CF dietitian. Thank you for joining us for the 5th episode of our series of Cooking for People with CF. Today we're focusing on fluid and salt. And my guest today is Sophie. Sophie, welcome to CF Cooking. Sophie, you have CF, but you haven't let that stop you travelling the world. Has travelling with CF been a challenge?
There's been many challenges along the way, but my approach is not to let CF stop me from doing anything that I want to. And I have backpacked through parts of Europe, South Africa, through several parts of Asia, and I spent a year travelling around Australia and New Zealand.
And you like to travel and be active. Have you had any difficulty managing those activities with CF?
Yeah. Well, there has been several challenges. I've had to make sure I really plan ahead. So I always have a second suitcase filled with a supply of all my medications, and I make sure I take that as a hand luggage when I'm flying. And doing physio and nebulizers in a 10-bedroom dorm has raised lots of questions, and many people have never even heard of CF. So I've explained to them what it is, and I've used it as a good opportunity to raise awareness. And one of the other challenges I've had whilst traveling, and particularly in hot countries, has been trying to keep hydrated. And there was one time when I went jungle trekking in Sumatra, and after one day I was incredibly dehydrated, so that was challenging.
And you like to exercise, Sophie?
Yeah, exercise is an incredibly important part of my day for managing my CF, so it's part of my physio routine. So every day I either do swimming, cycling or running. One of the things I've found since living in Australia has been that I get incredibly dehydrated, particularly in the summer months after a long bike ride. So I'm really keen to learn about how I can increase my salt intake and fluid intake when I'm exercising.
Very good. It is very important to be hydrated when you have CF and you're exercising.
But you hear so much about salt being bad for you, and people can give you the evil eye if you put too much salt on your food.
This aspect of the CF diet and the non-CF diet really is opposite in recommendation. But salt isn't a poison. It is an essential mineral, and you must get it from your diet because you can't make it in your body. So a CF diet is healthy if it's high in salt. And if you're living in hot or humid weather, or you're playing sport, you must replace that salt that you lose from the excess losses in sweat. So the ingredients of the recipes today are all designed to help you get more salt and to meet your needs for a high salt diet. As we've already discussed, getting enough salt is a really important part of the CF diet. And halloumi is a good source of protein, sodium and calcium. The real bonus is that fried halloumi is a delicious snack, making it a great addition to the CF diet. Drain the halloumi and cut it into cubes by slicing the slab in half horizontally. Then cut the cheese into battens and slice them into cubes. If still wet, pat dry. Heat 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil in a pan to a moderate heat. When hot, add the cubes of halloumi and cook for a few minutes without stirring until the bottoms are well browned. Turn the halloumi cubes and brown them on the other sides. They don't need to be perfectly browned on all sides, but they should be a nice golden brown colour for best flavour. Transfer the fried halloumi cubes to a bowl along with any other oil in the pan. Mix the halloumi with some chopped fresh herbs and a little pepper. And I would recommend serving the halloumi drizzled with a good quality extra virgin olive oil. And here are some other foods we're serving with to make a great tasting plate that are also high in salt.
So halloumi is high in salt, which means the rest of the family should have less and more for me.
Carbohydrate are our main energy source, essential for the brain and working muscle. People with CF need to load up on carbs, fluid and salt before exercise or other tiring activities. And this recipe, spaghetti, bacon and prawns, is designed to do just that. the spaghetti according to the directions on the pack. Then heat the olive oil in a fry pan to a moderate heat. Add the diced bacon and stir till it's brown. Then add the peeled prawns, and at this point you may want to turn down the heat a little. Add the garlic and chilli and salt and pepper. Stir for just 30 seconds as you don't want to overcook the prawns or burn the garlic. Add the tomatoes and stir again. You can get all those crispy bits off the bottom. Add the capers and anchovies and continue to stir. Add the spaghetti and mix it through to coat all the juice through the spaghetti. Add the diced basil and stir. When the spaghetti is hot, you can plate it up by distributing it between the two plates and garnish it with some grated parmesan and fresh herbs. This is a fantastic recipe for CF sport lovers. It gives you carbohydrate, protein, oil and salt, and is full of flavour. Sift the flour and the bicarb soda into a bowl. Then process or whisk the oil and sugar and add the eggs and whisk again. Pulse the walnuts, sultanas and grated carrot in a food processor to your preferred consistency. It doesn't need to be too smooth. Fold into the flour to just incorporate all the flour without overworking. Then pour it into the cake tin and bake at 180 degrees for 30 to 35 minutes or 40 to 50 minutes depending upon the tin you've used until a skewer comes out clean. When they are cooked and cooled, mix the cream cheese, icing sugar and lemon juice into a smooth mixture and ice the cakes. It's much easier if the cream cheese is left out overnight to come to room temperature. These carrot cakes are both healthy and delicious, which is a reminder to everyone with CF that here at CF Cooking, we want you to enjoy healthy eating. It isn't only when you're exercising that you need extra salt. People with CF need extra salt anyway, but also when it's humid or hot weather. Sophie, what do you do to get the extra salt when you're exercising?
I take salt tablets, but if I take them on an empty stomach, they can make me feel quite nauseous. So I always make sure I take them when I eat a meal. But also I use electrolyte tablets that I add to a bottle of water and electrolyte powders, but they can be sometimes expensive. I also have sports drinks, but again, sometimes expensive and not always easy to get hold of.
So today we're going to show you how to make your own salt replacement drink. Using a 600ml drink bottle, add 2 sachets of salt and 200 ml of fruit juice, and then top it up with water. Put the lid back on and shake it to mix to dissolve the salt. Fruit juice and water will be easy to get wherever you are, and if you carry some salt or salt sachets with you, you'll be able to make your own salt replacement drink. We've made some with pear, apple and orange and mango today, and we tasted them before. Sophie, which one did you like?
I preferred the pear one, and you couldn't taste the salt as much.
Okay, so the important thing is that you keep up your salt when you're exercising or in hot and humid weather. and you can experiment with the different flavours or the amounts of salt to find something that works for you. Salt has really gone out of favour in modern times, and a lot of food products are being made to be low in sodium. But it really is important for people with CF to get enough salt in their diet. Healthy foods, unprocessed foods like meat and vegetables are naturally low in sodium, so we can all add some in cooking, and people with CF can add extra at the table to avoid the rest of the family getting more salt than they need. Sophie, what's the next adventure that you've got planned?
Well, I'm training for a triathlon at the end of the year and then going travelling in New Zealand over Christmas.
Wow, good luck with that.
Thank you.
And just because you have CF doesn't mean that you can't participate in sport or even elite sport. By being aware of your special dietary needs and planning ahead, you'll be able to be prepared to get the energy, fluid and electrolyte salt that you need to compete at your best. Thank you, Sophie. I'm sure you're an inspiration to the CF community to help them see that they can have adventures of their own. And thank you for watching. I look forward to you joining us again for more CF cooking.